How can I make it funny with the 5, 4, 3? How can I make it like a funny with the countdown? I've done like every.
But you don't make it funny and you be professional. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1.
Wow.
What's up, guys? This is Joe14, and I am here with
Mesonak from the TTV podcast and no one else.
Sad Face.
Full deal.
Unfortunately, Jay wasn't here, which really bums me out because I was hoping he'd be here because we've got some pretty exciting stuff that actually pertains to stuff that he would be interested in. But first off, I would like to have a cheer. Apparently, with just the two of us, I reached 10,000 views on my channel yesterday. Yay!
That is actually a pretty good accomplishment.
Ooh,
Feel happy about that.
Cheer,
Cheer, yay, applause, clap. Actually, wait a second. Let's
What?
continue this line of thinking and I will work on trying to get something accomplished. Continue. Congratulations on the 10,000 views. That is actually a pretty good thing.
And I've got 17 subscribers.
That is a good thing as well.
Okay, first bit of business. We have got 2 Star Wars related things. I'm wondering which one we should. Let's just start off with the Plo Koons.
Yeah, get Clone Wars out of the way.
Okay, so on the 4th, I think. No, it was last Tuesday. On the 30th of April, we got another video of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is awesome. So that means there's going to be at least 4 movies coming out for the Star Wars Clone Wars thing, because we've got the trailer we already got with Tuff and the 501st. We've got the one involving Padme and Rich Clovis. We've got the one that we just got with Plo Koon, and then we've got, what am I forgetting?
I don't think anything.
So that means only 3. No, I could have sworn there was at least 4. Regardless,
quite a lot of footage.
You guys. What?
Quite a lot of footage.
Okay, are you guys done?
Yes, I am. That was
LJ?
interesting.
Yep. That was
okay.
What's going on here? Because to be quite honest, I'm lost. Like always.
The first thing that I want to note is the helmet design of the Wolfpack Troopers. This confuses me because it looks like a cross between scuba gear and a Phase 3 Galactic Enforcer Commander helmet. You know, like the helmets that Commander Becerra wears. You don't know what I'm talking about, but the audience probably.
Who on earth is that?
Commander Becerra is Kieti Mundi's commander.
Oh, that guy.
So they're pretty interesting helmets. I don't completely understand why they're wearing them, because the Wolfpack has already gotten like several helmet upgrades. Like they've gone from Phase 1 to the ARF Trooper helmets to the Phase 2 helmets, and then they've got these weird helmets that I've never seen before. I don't get why they're wearing them.
Maybe they like how they look.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's because of the environment, because I would tend to think that normal helmets would protect them, and they don't tend. The Republic doesn't tend to issue full armor to battalions. Like they don't tend to issue entire battalions armor designs, like new armor designs. They only did this once with the Sonic helmet designs with Commander Jet. And still don't understand why Commander Jet and his battalion have those armor designs, if it's exactly why they have them. But yeah. Second thing of note is that they are in the middle of a wasteland. At first, I saw this, and I still might be right about this. Remember those episodes that I mentioned that were absolutely so awful, like they crossed over the 100th mark of the episode that was half yellow, half white, and
I do remember you mentioning those awful episodes.
So this planet kind of reminds me of that, except for the differences being that it doesn't have a sun, but it's like sand. It's got like a sandstorm. I don't know if it's the same planet. It might or may or may not be. There's not enough detail. I mean, we don't even see the terrain because it's like a dust storm. Wow. But it's possible. The main thing to note is the lightsaber, and I actually figured this out yesterday. This was confirmed by a video I watched by IGN, but I guessed this before. The lightsaber that he picks up is the lightsaber of Master Sifo-Dyas, which, if you know your history, is the person who issued the creation of all clone troopers back like 10 years before the Republic started or something like that. And he mysteriously disappeared, and apparently they found him now in this clip, where they found his lightsaber at the very least. I don't fully understand why they're going out and looking for him, or if they meant to find him. I think the way Plo Koon's acting, I think they meant to go out and look for him. I don't know exactly why they go out and look for him. And another thing is, if the lightsaber's still there and there's no body, why is that? So if someone like ransacked the ship, or if they came in and like what's the term? They looted the ship, and they might have taken his body. Why didn't they take the lightsaber?
Good question.
I don't know why a body isn't there.
I've got a big question for you.
What?
Who is Plo Koon?
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not.
I know you're not. He's a Jedi. Let's just you saw him. He was
I bet I saw him. I don't remember the name.
No, this trailer you saw him in the episodes with Ahsoka.
Okay. Whatever.
He's a Jedi. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
I think he's a Sith.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys noticed of interest? Anything strange? Even if I might be able to explain it, you might have noticed things that are already there, and they're not like anything new. But
nothing that I myself noticed.
Anyway, yes. So, next on the agenda.
Second thing is loads of new stuff have been coming out for this. Originally, I was going to discuss this, but more information came out before we even started the episode. Let's just start out. Star Wars Battlefront 3, I believe it was one of the developers, though we don't know for sure, posted gameplay trailer of Star Wars Battlefront 3, and it is absolutely amazing. I think Meso actually was the one who showed me this.
Yeah.
I actually went and found even more gameplay trailers, which were pretty amazing, and actually some that were better. Okay. Here. And
this game and this whole scenario actually does interest me greatly. Mainly because of the circumstances surrounding it and how interesting it is, and partially because I did in fact like the other Battlefront games quite a large amount. And it'd be pretty shway if this got made, especially considering the new developers. And I actually do think there's a very good chance that this could get made. As far as this footage goes, it looks very promising. Shame this particular iteration is not going to get released, because I doubt if they decide to pick up the mantle and make Battlefront 3, they're going to use this engine or what's left of this part of development. So basically, this is just stuff for a game that's never going to get released. It's going to be all new. Or from the looks of this, looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty
There's
good.
a second link there. You should
Yep.
mute the sound because it's just guy talking, but it's got other gameplay footage.
Why is this all coming out now?
I don't know, and it's funny because another event happened before we even did the podcast that adds to this that I'll bring up in a second. But let's just discuss the footage a bit. What do you guys think of it? I think it looks amazing. When I first heard about Battlefront 3 being canceled, I did some research on it and found out that even though they didn't have gameplay trailers of this, they were planning on having the ability to go into space, have a space battle, and actually come down to ground level. So now with some of these trailers, you actually see like TIE fighters and stuff flying over like Cloud City and going up into capital ships, and they can come out and land, be involved there. It's just amazing.
I'll tell you, the most recent link you've posted looks the best out of all three of the clips. This looks awesome. All this vehicular combat.
I'm stunned by this. Can you imagine just like flying a TIE fighter and X-wing through like the skies of Cloud City and being able to be involved in either a capital battle like a dogfight in midair or going down to ground level? And then also we've got more.
It's called Battlefield.
I can imagine it. In fact, I've done that in a game called Arma 2.
But it's Star Wars. And then the capital ships are also pretty amazing. They've got more than just the Venator class Star Destroyer and the CIS Dreadnoughts. Now they have more capital ships. They've got like the Acclimator class Star Destroyer, which is like a downsized version of the Venator that you can land in. It's got like hangar underneath. And then the Venator has like more stuff on it. And in the old capital ship battles, it kind of seemed boring because when you landed inside the ship, there were like 3 doors. You walked into one of any of them, and it was kind of boring because after a while it got to be very repetitive. But now the interior of the capital ships are like way bigger. Like they've got it's actually like to actual size. Like you can go up into the bridge and stuff, and it's just really cool because it feels more to size ratio. With the old Battlefront, it was kind of like the capital ships were actually really small in the insides because you could only go into 3 of the rooms, and then like for example the bridge, you couldn't actually get to that from the inside, but now with this you can, or at least from the footage you can.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to say?
I can't really dissect this footage. I can only talk about how it may get made because of the new developments.
It honestly looks absolutely amazing. I especially like the vehicle and capital ship designs. The vehicles look just more. With the old Battlefronts, it was more centered around the ground battles, but with this new one, it feels more cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Keeney's getting into this. Is he listening?
No. But he just kind of picked up on the links. Anyway, DICE. Let's get to this.
Okay. So apparently, it was this morning, I think actually. EA confirmed that they would be designing licensed Star Wars games. One of which would be, now they didn't really confirm this, but they hinted at it so much with the videos and stuff. It's DICE is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Keeney, DICE is doing it. Now I listened to some things and I'm totally happy that EA and DICE are working on these. It's
so
just,
wait.
They're like the best. They're the okay.
Yeah, we need to tell Eljay. He doesn't know.
He what?
Eljay doesn't
know.
Okay,
EA is making Battlefront 3.
Well, has not been confirmed.
No wonder it looks like Battlefield 3.
It hasn't been confirmed, but they've implied so much. They've implied so much.
No, this is the deal, Eljay. They've licensed the rights to develop Battlefront games and other Star Wars games to EA and the companies DICE and also the developers of the Dead Space series, Visceral Games. They've not announced any particular games. All they've said is they will be making games, and they're going to have it run off the Frostbite 3 engine.
totally gonna do.
I think it's far more likely they're gonna do 13-13 than Battlefront 3, to be honest.
I don't know.
Especially since, well,
1313's a weird one because they didn't cancel 1313. They just put it on hold, and the company that I don't even remember who was designing it beforehand, but they still have the rights to continue designing it as soon as Disney gives them a go ahead. Whereas Battlefront got canned. They canned it because the people who were designing it before, I can't even remember all the people who were designing games, but Battlefront 3, they were funding from LucasArts was going to pay for it, but they said they got it like 99% done, and all they needed was like a few more touch-ups and stuff, but they didn't need. So they were just taking the money and saying, we're working on Battlefront 3 while they were taking this money to go fund other projects of their own, which is why it got canned.
Yeah.
Because LucasArts was kind of not happy about them taking their money. And so Battlefront 3 is essentially designed and it's finished, but they canned it because LucasArts said, you're taking our money, we're not going to use you. But I'm sure Battlefront 3 could be taken right now, like made a few changes to it by another company and have it sent off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Except for the fact that just because this is a new company, they're still operating under Disney's rules, and Disney probably won't want them making a tangentially related game to the main movie, like Battlefront 3.
Now here's the thing. That's how they hinted at it, but I'm getting the feeling that Disney isn't really canning any of the projects. What they're doing is they're putting it on hold and getting everything worked out because they've got so many problems with all these games and stuff. Not that it's just not related to the movies, but it's just got so many confusing things and they have to reorganize
that is very true.
Who's making stuff. And I really hope that it isn't completely because they're just making movies. I think they will make some things that aren't necessarily related to movies, and I really hope so because these new movies don't have. I don't think they're going to be very good, and I think they need to focus on expanded universe and Clone Wars and stuff because the movies aren't going to be the best choice for. They're not going to be the best material for games.
People like to demonize Disney for good reason. However, I personally can understand their dilemmas in regards to the games because there was so much stuff going on. If they are going to make new movies, it would be in their best interests to make games for those first before worrying about side stories and side games, which would be done later once they've established their new.
But they've got 2 years.
Yes, they do. That is also true. I cannot forgive it in the case of 1313 because that game was already scheduled to come out. They could have just gone ahead and released that. That was mainly, done being worked on anyway. But I can't understand with, say, First Assault, Battlefront, other projects they're working on. And that's not to say this stuff won't ever come out, like you said. I think they're just putting it,
I think they could have easily taken Battlefront 3 and tied it into the movies. I mean, it's
still may.
We've got the first game was kind of centered around episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then the second game, Battlefront 2, was kind of centered around the first 3. It had some stuff from 4, 5, and 6, but it was mainly centered around the Clone Wars era. And then they could easily take 3. They could easily make Battlefront 3 centered around the movies. I mean, so long as they throw in some stuff from the other movies and have some planets and stuff. I mean, it's a first-person shooter. It's not going to be too much centered around the story. I don't mind if the characters are from the new movies, so long as the game and the quality of the game is good.
Yeah.
Because it's a first-person shooter. I can see with 1313 if you turn that into the new movie stuff, it wouldn't be the same because it's got a story to it. Whereas Battlefront 3, not so much.
Yep.
Eljay, what are your thoughts?
Yes, my thoughts.
Hold up.
Looks cool.
Hold up. Have you ever even played a Battlefront game?
No.
You've played Battlefield.
Yesterday.
You've played Battlefield, though. So, to be quite honest, Joe, you've never played Battlefield. Battlefront 3 comes out under DICE. It's going to be a reskinned Battlefield, possibly third-person shooter format. And I
have no problem with
that is a good thing, because Battlefield's a good game.
I don't mind so long as it isn't too violent, because, I have no problem with playing video games like that, but Do you really need to make it super realistic? I mean, you shoot.
Well, that's the thing. Battlefield
I
games
don't.
made by DICE are some of the most realistic, quote-unquote, FPSs around because the graphics are so realistic, the gameplay, you know, stuff like that. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not anything to do with science fiction. They have not done a science fiction Battlefield.
No, I
Wait,
think
no,
they
yeah,
can
they
do
did.
a good
Yeah, they
job. If it sci-fi isn't too bad because it's got like blasters and stuff. When you get shot with a blaster, it makes like a smoking hole. It doesn't actually like you don't bleed or anything.
Yes, that is true. My concern being, I can easily see them saying, well, let's crank up Star Wars' realism, quote unquote. It's, sci-fi realism, and let's have crazy stuff going on. Playing Battlefield, as I've described in the past, is an experience because they've put so much time into the graphics. You're just running along, and there's like the sun's in your face, and there's dust flying all around the screen, and someone's shining a flashlight at you, which is stuck under their gun. There's, you fire the bullets, they go whizzing past your head. Your vision's obscured. There's blood everywhere. There's lens flares, and it's just so hard.
Like a J.J. Abrams movie.
Yeah, basically, it's so hard to even do anything, and that's not a bad thing for some. It's always been a thing that bugs me. And I don't think that's going to be a concern with Star Wars, but at the same time, DICE is a good company. But I'm not entirely sure how they can pull off something like Star Wars. I guess we'll have to see. So I think that is all, and I think there's enough time actually to talk about your crazy life if you want to stick this at the end.
Okay. So basically, I had the craziest day yesterday. 3 super weird things happened while I was at work. I was on parcel. First thing that happened, I came out. The guy that was on parcel before me said, there was this guy that came up, drove his car up. Now, there's the parcel area. It's got like an archway to kind of like protect you from like if it's raining or anything. And there's about enough space for 2 cars. And this guy came up, parked his car in the parcel area. You aren't supposed to do this. It's not a parking lot. It's like where you're supposed to drive for your stuff. He got out and then just left his car there.
What?
And then it stayed there like the whole time. If he had parked it in the middle, I don't even know what we would have done. But it stayed there for like the longest time. And then we finally actually had to just get it towed out. And they towed it over to the parking lot next to, like, it was like behind Byerly's. And when I went on my break and came back, it was gone. So the guy came back like while I was on break. It was super weird.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then the second thing that happened was okay, so there's these 4 Mexicans that there was like an older lady, a middle-aged lady, and 2 kids. They came in and they asked me and a manager if they could buy the decorations in the store, like the chandeliers and stuff, like the lighting.
Well,
can we have your lights? Is basically what they asked.
Well.
And then when I told them no, we kind of need those, they gave me like a really dirty look. And then they went and started shopping. And somehow they like the carts that
Yes.
they have, like you put the kids in the front.
Yes.
They managed to they tried to steal one of them, and they managed to get it outside. We have it set up so you can't take the carts outside because we have to, if we did, we'd have to have like a corral for them and stuff, and it'd be too much work to like make sure everyone gets their carts in there and stuff. So we just say you can drive up for your stuff if you can't carry it out. And they got it all the way across to another store nearby. And when one of the cashiers went to retrieve it, they said they weren't finished shopping, so they needed to borrow a cart.
I just got it. It took me a while. Wow. That is...
And then that's not the end. When we took it back, they came back and for like 30 minutes stared through the glass windows at the front of Byerly's, giving dirty looks to anybody who came in and out. They just literally stood there peering through the glass looking at people. Like for 30 minutes.
What on earth?
And they were like holding Byerly's bags and everything. Like they were actually holding like their bags. and everything, and they weren't like waiting for anything. They were just like staring through the glass.
Wow.
I think they're a little bit crazy. Maybe they were friends of the Vapor Lady.
Ha! Very nice.
Oh, TTV references.
Very nice.
And then the third thing that happened was so we have the drive up system, and we have these tubs that you have like plates for. You take a plate, it's like a plaque, and it's got like a number on it that matches the tub, and we say, here, you take this, you drive around, and you give the plate, and we give you your stuff from the tub so it doesn't get like disorganized or anything. And this one couple came up, and I loaded their stuff into their car, and they said, oh wait, we've got 2 waters as well, like the 24 packs of waters. And so I saw there were 2 waters on the conveyor belts, and they said, are those yours? And they said yes, and I was like, can I see a receipt? They didn't have it on the receipt. They had the receipt, but it wasn't on there, and like, it's not on there. And then another guy came up behind, and they were like kind of hanging their arm out of their window, and they had one of the numbers for the water tubs, and I said, their numbers match these. And they said, oh, no, they're ours. And then I went to the person behind me and said, are those your waters? And they said, yeah. And so finally I had to go in and get a manager. And they argued with the manager, even though they didn't even have it on their receipt, for like 5 or 10 minutes, saying, those are ours, those are ours, those are ours. And it's like,
wow.
They were thirsty.
That's great.
super weird.
You did
super
have an
fun.
interesting day.
Super weird day.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's about it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll put links either in the description, or if I can, if they're YouTube videos, I'll probably have them up on the screen in annotations. But I'm going to put links to all this information because it's useful and stuff. And hope you enjoy your week. Have a very good Wednesday, even though it's up Monday for us.
Yeah.
I am Joe14, and I was here with
Mesonak from the TTV podcast.
And Eljay from the same place.
And Keeney, who didn't join the call but discussed stuff in the chat, and I might put that in there too. See ya.
Goodbye.
Adios.